智者大士、师父上人、各位主持人、各位善知识, A Di Đà Phật. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thánh Trí Giả Đại sư Thượng Tiên Hóa, quý thầy cô và quý vị thiện tri thức, A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the 27th of July 2024. We here go forth to continue discussing the Vimalakirti Sutra. We are on slide 78, and thank you all for joining us. It's in an introductory part of the sutra. It talks about the assembly. Assembly is, as a reminder, assembly is a group of monks who's more than 4. And last time we talked about the Sangha. The Sangha is part of the assembly here. The Sangha is a special group of monks and nuns who are professional beggars who are received a special kind of training from the Buddha. So they are considered to be the sons of the Buddha, sons and daughters of the Buddha. And last time from a Shastra, wisdom Shastra, we talked about the 4 different kinds of Sangha. Number 1 is stupid Sangha. Number 2, mute sheep Sangha. Stupid Sangha is that they really are not monks and nuns at all. Mute sheep Sangha is that even though they learn about the rules and the deportment of the monks, but they really don't understand much about the Dharma, Buddha Dharma at all. And in particular, the point here about mute sheep Sangha is that because their lack of understanding, maybe of caring and wisdom, that's why they can't really be of use to anyone. Okay? They can't really help. So that's what's interesting here is point number 2. This type of mute sheep Sangha is a reminder of the role of the Sangha. Okay? If you are not able to really help our followers, then you are mute sheep Sangha. He doesn't spell it out specifically, but is what it is. Number 3, that's what we are right now today, starting off, ashamed Sangha. Who are they? They are fully ordained Sanghas who actually are working hard at cultivating precepts, meditation and wisdom, and can explain the Dharma for others and solve some problems, have some limited amount of wisdom, but they have not opened their true wisdom yet. So this type of Sangha, they dwell in the ordinary, meaning that they just like the rest of us, they eat and sleep and wear, take a shower and so forth. But inside they feel that they're falling short of the standards of the Sangha. Buddhas, when he allowed people to become monks and nuns, have a certain aspiration, have certain standards that have been lost through the ages. But these people, these Sanghas, they feel ashamed because they cannot fulfill the roles of the Sangha that the Buddha envisioned. And therefore, in particular, inside, they feel not worthy to receive the offerings, the 4 types of offerings. Lay people, when they make offerings to us, it's usually in 4 types. First of all, shelter. You need a shelter in order to cultivate. We need the shelter from the rain and the weather elements. Okay, otherwise you can't function effectively. So that's right there on top of us, a shelter. Number 2, the second kind of clothing is that the second kind of offering is clothing. You need something to cover ourselves, our body, okay, and shield it from the elements. Number 3, Once you have something over your head and you have something to wear, you need something to eat. Bread and cheese, in particular. Oh, I mean anything that feeds you. Okay. And finally, after we eat, we need to rest. La siesta. Okay? And so those are the 4 types of offerings that the Sangha can expect to receive from their supporters. All the offerings fall within those 4 types of offerings. All right? And finally, the true Sangha. And this is so revealing. This is Master Tutor is tremendously wise, and he selects the essential information. He picked out, for example, this information is not his creation, but came from the wisdom shastra, which is a shastra of great wisdom in Buddhism. So it shows that Master Tutor understands his wisdom very, very profound. He says, as far as the 4th type of Sangha is concerned, they're called true. Because how and why? They are called true Sangha because they have endured the Dharma of suffering. I'm so impressed. We're so lucky that we're able to together look at these beautiful insights that resolves a lot of doubts, a lot of questions in our mind. This morning someone asked us, what are the requirements? Okay. The requirement is whatever you need to do, you do it so that you are able to reach the true Sangha level. And how do you reach a true Sangha level? By going to Disneyland, eating well? No? Oh, I'm sorry. That's different. That's a different type of Sangha. The true Sangha is the one who have endured the Dharma of suffering. What happened to the applause sign? Thank you. It is a gift, folks. Please appreciate the kind of great wisdom here. It's no doubt from the sage's viewpoint. It says in order for you to be a true Sangha, you need to have endured the Dharma of suffering. Bellissimo. It's so beautiful. And looking back, that's what Shakyamuni Buddha had to do. Endured the Dharma of suffering. Yeah? Agree? He suffered so much. He suffered what? Tell me, what did he suffer? Hunger. Okay, very good. What else did he suffer? Come on. You don't remember? Slavery? Okay, yeah, okay. It's the tip of some people's tongue, slavery. Okay? What else did he suffer? What stands out to you? I'm asking you individually. What are you impressed about what he did? in terms of endure, what kind of dharma of suffering. Yes, Wei Mao. What sticks in your mind? Okay, never mind.
Amitabha. Master, I don't know what stands in my mind, but I just know what I remember. He was eaten alive by a tiger.
Eating alive by a tiger? No, yes. He wasn't. Your memory is so messed up. Yeah. Let me.
He was feeding the tiger mother, no?
No, he was eating a mother tiger. Is that what you said?
No, the tiger mom was very hungry.
No.
He jumped down. No, it's not him.
No, he jumped down. He's dead before the mother tiger can eat him. Your memory is all messed up. How can you survive a fall from the cliff and still be alive so that you're eating by the tiger? It's illogical. But you're right. Yeah. So she remembers him being eaten by a tiger. To her is suffering. Okay. Who else?
A-di-đà Phật.
Yeah.
Con A-di-đà Phật. Con thưa thầy, là Đức Phật suốt cuộc đời ngài đã bỏ đi cái khổ trong một cái sự giàu sang. Ngài bỏ đi vô rừng chịu lạnh, chịu đói, rồi chịu nóng, nói chung là tất cả những cái khổ đó, rồi phải cũng như là cắt bứt những cái sự ái cha mẹ, ái vợ con, và đó là cái nỗi khổ của chúng sanh, nhưng mà ngài cắt được những cái điều đó, và hành pháp trong 6 năm ở trong rừng già để chịu khổ.
Excellent. Okay. Translation.
Amitabha Master, so to me that the Buddha, all his life he was very rich, and he left all of his belonging behind to go into the forest and endure the cold, the hot, and the hunger, and he cut off the love of from his mom and dad and his wife and his children. So he endured all of the suffering that the living beings endure, and he practiced ascetic for 6 years, enduring the suffering.
Very good. Isn't it interesting? I want to hear from you because I want to see what makes an impression on you. Okay. The one thing I just remember is the previous speaker said she cannot endure the being eaten alive by a tiger. That sticks in her mind. This one, what sticks in this lady's mind? He had to endure the love of his wife. You don't find it funny? Huh. I found it funny. Never mind. Okay? So that's a lot of suffering. She understands. You guys don't know what I'm talking about, do you? Look at all the guys. They say, "Oh, say what?" Okay, and so you see, that's what sticks in her mind. How about DTT? What suffering or dharma of suffering did the Buddha endure?
Master, he was abandoned by the other 5 monks that was cultivated with him.
See, Master, see how sensitive he really is? Don't leave me, please. That's too much suffering for him. Who think that a Thor warrior like him is afraid to be abandoned? It's so interesting. You better enjoy his lack of a tooth in front before he fixes it. It's so cute, huh? Yeah? You see, a big man who said, "Don't abandon me, please." It's so cool. Yes, YouTube. Let's not overdo it.
Yes, Master. From listener MT, he states, he left the riches to be poor, he fasted, he sat and meditated for a long time under the Bodhi tree.
Yeah, this guy says, I can't stand being poor. That's what comes out of his mouth right away. He says, I hate being poor. Like, that's a lot of suffering. Isn't that interesting? Okay, that's a dharma of suffering. You got that? So what is it? Oh, never mind. Let's go to JMT Q&A first, before I ask you the question. Jumi, before she says anything, what do you think she suffers most from? Wait, Jumi, please. Un segundo. 1 second, please. What do you think she suffers most from? Let's take a guess. Koreans, what do you think she suffers most from? Jungin Sunim, what do you think he suffers most from? Jumi.
Jumi said skin problem.
Oh, I didn't know that. She has a skin problem. She has a skin problem? How come I didn't know? She has skin problems. Or kid problem. I don't...
She's afraid of skin problem.
Skin problem. Okay. Go ahead, Jumi. What are you afraid of? So every single time with JMT, yeah, they when Jumi want to talk, they shut her up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. No? Anyone else? What is the dharma of suffering to you? Yeah? Okay, it's not meant to be. We'll never know what Jumi is what she's afraid of. Okay, so it's interesting. The true Sangha is the Sangha who has endured the Dharma of suffering. And that's from enduring the Dharma of suffering. This morning someone asked about patience. How do you develop patience? We didn't have a time to go into it. By enduring suffering. Yes, JMT? No? Okay, we didn't do it enough.
We cannot hear you still. Cannot hear you.
And so that's through enduring the Dharma of suffering That's how they reached the 4 fruitions of sagehood. And that is a professional secret. There is no other way. Don't tell too many people, because no one will want to shave their heads anymore. It's a lot of suffering they need to endure in order to make it. Have you suffered enough? We can stop here right now. That's enough for today. Isn't that cool? It is. To me, it is. This is why when I left the home life, no one told me. Because if anyone told me so, I would have never shaved my head. Okay? Yeah. That's what it takes. It's not easy. And that's why it's called transcendental path, because we're not going after worldly things. We endure suffering. Being a Sangha, I mistakenly thought that in order to have success in this path, it's measured in the terms of the size of the temples, number of temples, how big of an assembly you can gather, how famous you become. I'm guilty of such false assumptions. Like most monks and nuns who got into this path. He says, I'm going to waste my time doing this, so I'm going to build as big of a temple as possible. We have so many disciples, I have no more names to give out. Disciple names to give out. But actually, the path is a path of enduring the dharma of suffering. So there's a dharma of suffering. It's not like suffering per se. Okay? There's a dharma of suffering, not just any type of suffering. That's why it is a professional training. It's not a casual thing. It's not a arbitrary path. It actually, there is a methodology behind the madness of suffering. Okay? And that's, so the Chinese is very revealing. The English translation is not that good, but the Chinese is very clear. It says, 从 is from the patience of enduring the suffering that you can reach the 4 fruitions of sagehood. Okay? And I apologize to those of you who shaved their heads and was never told about this. It's not my fault. Same thing happened to me, so don't feel bad. Okay, let's edit this out. Otherwise, no one would ever want to leave the home life again. Okay. I feel better now. All the secret I've been keeping in my heart, now it comes out in the open. Okay? So much suffering. How come you guys look so happy? It's not normal. Look at my Sangha, they look so happy. Except for Sianan. Look, Sangwuksunim looks happy. Sianan, what is your question, ma'am?
The number 3 before this, number 4, true Sangha, is that also the sound here? But it seems like number 4 is also the 4 stages of sound here. But then at the end, in the summary, after number 4, it says those number 3 and 4, they are capable of carrying out Sangha's duties, so it sounds like sound here as well. So would you please explain number 3 and 4?
Yeah, I can explain. I can explain to you that in the past, the Sangha who left us, okay, it's because they cannot endure the Dharma of suffering. And what happens when they you could not endure the Dharma of suffering? They blame me. He said, "Oh, Master, you're unfair. Master, you're crazy. Master, it's all my fault." It's true. It's my fault because I'm the origin, the source of their suffering. It's true. But it's not me that caused them to fail. They failed because they could not endure it. I'm simply a tool for the Lord. None of you Asians get it. Okay, so if you're suffering through my Dharma, I'm not at fault because it's the Buddha's design to make you suffer. It's not my fault. I'm only a tool in his hands to make you suffer. So far, so good. Okay, so of the 4 types of Sangha, the last 2, the true Sangha and the ashamed Sangha, are the ones that are able to carry out the Sangha's duties. Meaning what? Meaning that you don't necessarily have to attain the 4 fruitions of sagehood. 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, in order to fulfill the roles of the Sangha. That's what it says. Okay? The Sanghas are not required to become sages. Okay? They are either accomplished sages like a true Sangha or the Sangha, a work in progress, a shame Sangha, they know that they're supposed to open the wisdom, they haven't yet, okay? But they're not giving up at all. That they still deserve to be part of the Sangha. Okay? Any questions? Good. Next, 80. There were 32,000 bodhisattvas whom the assembly knew and recognized. They had all accomplished great wisdom and fundamental practices.
菩萨32000，众所知识，大智本行，皆悉成就。
Okay. 81, commentary slide. Okay, so this is the phrase that satisfies one of the 6 requirements, the hearing requirements. That is, when the Dharma is spoken, it's not spoken into the void. It's spoken in order to fulfill a hearing thing. What's a hearing thing here? It is so important. It sounds so casual and scholarly, but actually it's so fundamental in the speaking the Dharma practice. When you speak Dharma, is for an audience or for an assembly. You don't speak Dharma into the void. Okay? What does it mean to speak for an assembly? Meaning what's implied here is not spelled out, but I'm going to spell it out for you. You speak Dharma to the assembly. And what you don't realize is that when the Buddha spoke Dharma to the assembly, he enters Samadhi and he says, what shall I talk about today in order to benefit the listeners? Again, another important aspect of the profession. We speak Dharma because it's supposed to bring benefit to others, not to ourselves. Meaning what? Don't speak Dharma because you want to be liked. Anyone has that problem? You don't speak Dharma by telling jokes so that people like you. Don't ever do that. Okay, it's not funny. Okay. Number 3, you speak Dharma in order, when you speak Dharma, you avoid speaking Dharma to impress others of your knowledge. Okay? It's never about you. You speak Dharma for the audience, meaning for the sake of the audience, not for your sake. I'm sorry, these are the criteria in our world, but somehow it got twisted and misinterpreted. So now, all of a sudden, what happens to our profession? Our people who leave the home life, shave their heads, they then are given permission to go get a PhD of Buddhology somewhere. And they come back and they hang that diploma on the wall. And now they say, now I'm qualified to speak Dharma for you. Because I have that diploma on the wall. See that? It says PhD of Buddhology from University of, so-and-so. Has never been the case that we needed to have a diploma. I'm anti-diploma. Because it's too late for me to get a diploma. You know how long it takes? 10 years. Do I have 10 years left? No. I'd like to travel before I die. Anyway, to the point here, it's never about me. I mean, I have to remind myself that. Okay? So you speak Dharma for the sake of the listener. It's all directed at benefiting the assembly, benefiting the hearers. And really, I can't stress enough, and it seems to me my master did the same mistake, allowing his disciples to go get PhDs, who sends a wrong message to me. Why does a monk need to be certified by a university that he understands the Buddha Dharma? I don't get it. And this is what's happening in the younger generations now. Many ambitious and with lofty goals, monks and nuns, they go to school, shooting for a PhD, okay? So that they can be qualified to speak Dharma. Very much like the pros now need to go to school to get certified, get a diploma or certification, they're qualified in their field of expertise. So the monks and nuns now have to go to universities to get certified as well. That is so misguided. It's so sad. And no one speaks about it, including my own Chinese master who sent his disciples to get PhDs in Buddhology. And let me tell you, I'm unimpressed by all those people. No wisdom. That's my problem. You spend 4 years of your life, up to 10 years of your life getting a PhD, it does not help you develop wisdom at all, which is contrary to our lifestyle, our goals, our professional aspirations. How can you possibly call it wisdom if you seek to be recognized by people who have no wisdom whatsoever? It's flawed reasoning to me. And you know what? I'm probably one of the remaining few left who's still jealous of all those people with diplomas and with money and with certifications on the walls. It happens in Korea, yeah? People who got a PhD from Harvard, from Berkeley and so forth, they hang it on the wall. Now, every time they lecture, they have, lots of people listening because they are so-called experts in Buddhism. Yes, Way Mountain. And again, I apologize if I'm bitter and jealous. Okay? But truth be told, I'm envious.
Dạ, con kính thưa Thầy. Hồi nãy Thầy có nói là các vị tăng, các vị tu sĩ xong rồi lem Thầy là tại Thầy khó hay gì cho nên cái pháp khổ quá, chịu không nổi. Nhưng mà thật sự ra con nghe thật là cũng cay đắng cho Thầy. Tại vì muốn thành tựu một cái quả vị thì con thấy phải có một cái bước. Giống như là con có nghe một cái câu chuyện là giữa cái bậc thang và một cái tượng Phật. Thì cái bậc thang đó nó mới cầm len với lại cái tượng Phật á, nó nói là tại sao ông cũng là một cục đá làm ra, tôi cũng làm cục đá làm ra, mà tại sao á, tôi á thì bị người ta chà đạp, còn ông á thì được người ta cung kính và cúng dường và lễ lại. Thì cái tượng Phật mới trả lời rằng á, cái sự đau khổ của ông á là bị có mấy nhát thôi, bậc thang thì có mấy nhát thôi, 1-2 nhát thôi, còn tôi á là bị cả ngàn nhát, cả triệu nhát để thành một cái tượng Phật này. Thì cái sự pháp khổ giống như Thầy dạy đó, muốn thành tựu một cái đạo quả thì phải chịu những cái khổ đắng đó, nếu như mình vượt qua được thì mới được thành tựu. Dạ, và cái thứ hai nữa con muốn hỏi là hồi sáng này Thầy có nói Bồ Tát thì cũng A Di Đà Phật. Và cái thứ hai nữa đó là con muốn hỏi là sáng Thầy có nói Bồ Tát thì cũng còn một cái sân á, với La Hán còn sân. Thì vậy Bồ Tát đẳng giác á, còn cái vi tế sân không Thầy? Dạ, A Di Đà Phật. Cảm ơn Thầy.
Me and my big mouth.
Amitabha Master, last time you talked about those Sangha that left organizations, they blamed you because you're being hard, or they cannot endure the dharma of suffering, and they become bitter. So therefore, I think because you want us to accomplish the fruition. And I also heard of a story between the stepping stone and also the statue of a Buddha. And the stepping stone complained to the Buddha that, how come we are all come from the same rock? You also made by the same rock, but I myself got stepping on, and while you as a statue, you were being respected and revered by a lot of people. So they don't understand the statue response is that because when you are the stepping stone, you only endure several times of carving, but me, it took thousands times in order to carve into a statue of a Buddha. Therefore, I think that in order to accomplish, you have to endure the suffering, all of that in order for you to make it. And second, I want to ask you a question is that this morning you talk about the Bodhisattva and Arhat, they still have anger issue. I want to ask, what about the equal enlightenment Bodhisattva? Do they still have the anger that is minute, or do they still have that anger?
The answer to the second question, as you might have guessed, the equal enlightenment Bodhisattva have huge tempers. Huge. But they pretend not to be angry, unlike us. When we're angry, we have a hard time hiding it. But the equal enlightenment Bodhisattvas, I believe, I met some of them. When they're angry, they're so angry. But they hide it so well, you cannot tell they're angry. They kill you. Okay? They kill you, you don't even know. That's how they show their anger. For us, we're stupid, we confused, that's why we reveal our anger. So everyone is... But the equal enlightened Bodhisattva, when they're angry at you, I kill you, boy. You're going to be sorry. When I kill you, you won't even know. And that's the Bodhisattva. That's the advantage of being a Bodhisattva. You guys are so obvious. You say, I hate you, I don't like you. Bodhisattva, I love you. Equal enlightenment Bodhisattva, I love you, but I'm going to kill you, you boy. You're going to be so sorry, but I love you. Okay. What about the Dharma of suffering between the stepping stone and the stone statue? It's not just that. I can add to it. It sounds very nice and cool, but what the difference between, to me, the stepping stone endure a lot more suffering than the Buddha statue. If you ask for my opinion, I love. It's a cute story. Okay, it sounds so logical. Everyone, oh, that's a beautiful insight. But let me tell you my perspective. In my view, in my humble view, the stepping stone suffers a lot more than the Buddha statue. Anyone agrees with me? He who agrees with me loves me. Oh. Who agrees with me? Why? Why do you feel that the stepping stone endure a lot more suffering than the Buddha statue? You are not into landscaping, are you? I love landscaping. So I am familiar with stepping stone. Quấy mong.
Dạ, kính thưa thầy, theo cái cách nghĩ của thầy cũng hay, con nghĩ là chắc cũng đúng, là tại vì cái bậc thang nó phải chịu, người ta đi bước dẫm lên quá nhiều, chà đạp đủ thứ trên đó hết trơn, giống như đất mà phải chịu đựng tất cả dơ giấy bẩn thỉu, tốt xấu gì cũng đều có hết. Dạ. Dạ, rất là good. Dạ, cảm ơn thầy rất nhiều. Cái điều, dạ.
Master, I think that your way of thinking is also correct because the stepping stone, they got people stepping on it forever, and they endure people stepping on it. So thank you for your view.
Yeah, the Buddha statue, they took 1,000 times to carve you up, okay, and you're done, okay? Whereas a stepping stone, if you put a stepping stone in front of the Buddha statue, okay, in 10 minutes, you stepped on 10,000 times. You see that? So it's a lot more suffering. The humiliation of someone stepping on you all day. That's too much. Okay, but very good. I like the cute story. Thank you for your contribution. Huh? I love that story, doesn't it? Yeah? But it made me think, how can I counter that story? What's difficult to endure is not just the physical pain, but usually sometimes the mental pain is much more unbearable than physical pain. You slap someone, after half an hour it goes away. You don't remember anymore, right? But when you insult someone, they suffer for life. All right, very good. Going back to, where were we? Okay, 81. So the hearing requirements. So here, when the Buddha spoke the Vimalakirti Sutra, there are bodhisattvas and 32,000 close disciples who propagate and explain teachings. Okay, and so it says here, this Dharma here of the Vimalakirti Sutra, the Vimalakirti Dharma is bestowed upon a lot of people to benefit them. And as we go along, maybe you can get some benefits too out of ourselves, out of this. Okay. Next bullet point. The bodhisattvas are the specialists, the professional practitioners of Mahayana practices. Okay. It's a Sanskrit word that originally it's a Sanskrit word, and bodhisattva is the transliteration of that, and it translates as bodhisattva of enlightenment. Okay, and as per habit, we shorten words. So we call bodhisattva. So in Chinese, it says they omit the sattva and they only keep the bodhi. Okay. But in English, we don't have such a luxury because bodhi has been used already. 82. According to the Abhidharma, that Buddhist Shastra area, it means, bodhisattva means self-enlightened and seeking to enlighten others. So that's why you cannot be called a bodhisattva until those two requirements are met. Please be careful. Other people who don't know better, it's okay. They can mix them up and talk with loosely. But for us, it's very important for you to say that when we call someone bodhisattva is because that person meets two requirements. They are enlightened already themselves, meaning they have wisdom already. How do you know they have wisdom? In Mahayana, your wisdom when you have no ego. That is wisdom. Very precise, no excuses. You still have an ego, you have no wisdom. Meaning what? If your actions are driven by yourself, then it's an act of confusion, of delusion. However, if your actions originate from a lack of self, then it's an action of wisdom. That's the meaning. It's not about words, because it explains here very practical terms. Okay? More specifically, if you sell a car in order to make yourself rich, is that an act of wisdom? No, because you benefit yourself, yeah? make yourself rich, meaning benefiting yourself. Yeah? It's still an ego there. You're seeking to benefit. Yeah? Okay. What about you sell a car to benefit the temple? Don't be too obvious, Xian An. We have to be subtle. Okay, no, that's a bad example. So what happened to the fourth stage, the 4A, the fourth stage Rahat, when they behave, when their actions are not based on an ego, then it is an act of wisdom. That's all you have to remember. Whether you be before 4A or after 4A, you have to remember that only. Ultimately, it's up to you. If you're 4A and you still act selfishly, you are not acting out of wisdom. But you're 4A and you choose to suppress your ego in your actions, then you are a great asset to society. That's a difference. That's how you make a difference. Not by becoming 4A. It's by acting as a 4A. Am I being clear to you? This is what it's all about. It's not about a diploma. It says, I'm a 4A. Now I put my feet on and I retire. Hello, everyone. I send you a postcard from the Bahamas. Excuse me. Did I clip my toenails? You got that? Too late. She said, can you pose again? I said, it's spontaneous. It's not an act. Clowns are only funny when they're natural. Okay, isn't that cool? Huh? You understand now? Because I used to be confused. I said, there are 4 stages. Therefore, that's it. They're sages. No. You're a sage, but if you choose to act selfishly, you're an idiot. But you're a sage, you act without seeking to benefit yourself, you're cool. What happened to the phone? Okay. Okay? And so that's a bodhisattva. Okay, that's the first bullet on slide 82. You self-enlighten, and after you have your wisdom, your actions are to benefit others. How? Not just benefit others. You benefit others. What's the best way to benefit others? By helping them get enlightened. So it's no point. Nothing to brag about. When you say, you're enlightened, let's say you're enlightened, and then you can, let's say, heal someone. You have a headache? Talk, no more. Okay? Is that impressive? Yeah, it is. But it's not doesn't meet her criteria for a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva does not gauge himself by his ability to heal or to make money or whatever, to become famous. He gauges himself, his criteria of success is that how he can help others become enlightened. It's so beautiful, folks. All these years I've been practicing, and I was confused. What is the standard? What is the gold standard? It's all spelled out here in the sutra by Master Chucha. He's a great sage. He says, this is the gold standard that all of the sanghas in the world, in the 3 periods of time, must measure themselves against, because it is not from him, because it's from the Abhidharma, which is the Buddha's teachings. Abhidharma is basically a collection or restatement of the Buddha's teachings. That's all. It's nothing new. Nothing new whatsoever. Okay? Bullet number 2. Some say that Bodhi refers to unsurpassed path. That's correct. While Sato refers to great mind. Thus, great minds seek the highest path for the sake of living beings. Self-explanatory. Okay? You see the difference? We may be joking around a lot, but what we're learning is these essential teachings of a great sage. It saves a lot of confusion. It saves a lot of doubts. Am I doing it right? This is a standard. He says, if you aspire to have a great mind, then naturally you seek the highest achievement. That's the highest path. Highest path meaning you can go the furthest, the highest. Okay? Nothing higher. That's why eventually it becomes unsurpassed achievement. Who's late? Again? 2 A's in a row? You got that? Isn't it beautiful? It says, unsurpassed path. Great minds seek the greatest attainment for themselves? No, for living beings. For the sake of living beings, in order to benefit living beings. That's what greatness is about. Greatness is not measured by how much money you have in your account, how many followers you have on your online website. Okay? It's about how many living beings you can benefit. You have enough today? I know we ate a lot today for lunch. Every time on weekend, I'm so full after lunch. I don't know how I can lecture like this. Third bullet. Mahaprajna Paramita Upadesa. That's the great wisdom Shastra. In that source, Master Sutra says, Bodhi expresses Buddha's path, while Sattva signifies accomplishing sentient beings. So the Buddha's path is accomplished for the sake of living being, thus it is called Bodhisattva. Okay? 83. Furthermore, Bodhi represents self-practice, while Sato means transforming others. Hence, they're called bodhisattvas. Else, such practice lacks wisdom of benefiting others. The point being that the bodhisattvas are special individuals worth being revered because they benefit us. We can hate them, we can criticize them, but the Bodhisattva still benefits us. Doesn't matter what happens, whether you like him or you love him, you hate him, he still benefits us. That's what it means. Unlike me, unless you like me, don't expect nothing from me. Okay? Ain't no bodhisattva. Okay, that's, if you want a counterexample of Bodhisattva, that's me. Yeah. These girls are out of control. Okay, second bullet on slide 83. Bodhi is shared by all three vehicles. Bodhi refers to enlightenment, of course, so all vehicles is about enlightenment, while Sado is not used by two vehicles. What are three vehicles? Three vehicles, okay. Jargon, Buddhist jargon, you need to remember three vehicles. First vehicle is Arhat vehicle. Second vehicle is Pratyeka vehicle. Third vehicle is Bodhisattva vehicle. That's all. Okay? So vehicle means that it's a Dharma, it's a teaching that's able, if you practice, enables you to become a vehicle for the sound hearers, for the people. Okay? And so there are different types of vehicles. Vehicle refers to your ability, your capacity to help others. So Bodhisattva is the biggest vehicle. They can help a lot more than the other vehicles. All right? So keep that in mind. Vehicles is a special concept in Buddhism. So Bodhi is seeking enlightenment is what's common to all three vehicles, but Pusa or Sattva is not shared in the first two vehicles, because they do not accept this appellation to the lack of compassion and benefit for others. Compassion, keep on hearing about it, okay? I don't have compassion for others. What does it mean, not having compassion for others? Meaning when they see someone suffering, the typical ordinary person reaction is, I'm glad it's not me. No? Boy, that's a lot of suffering. I'm so lucky. Huh? Okay? So the typical person. And so the second vehicle says, I'm not affected by that suffering. Okay? Whether it's hunger, whether it's poverty, they said, doesn't bother me. Who's suffering? No one's suffering. That's why they're above it. Okay. That's why it says here that the first two vehicles lack compassion and benefit for others. Whereas the third vehicle, the Bodhisattva's vehicle, when they see people suffering, they say, oh wow, that looks like painful, so painful. What do? They what do they do when they see people suffering? Huh? I'm sorry? Can't hear you. Don't help her. Yeah, what do you do? What do they do?
Dạ thưa thầy, they will try to help.
Who try to help? Body thing?
Bodhisattva.
The body thing. the other vehicles too, they also try to help a little. Okay? So what happens to the Bodhisattva, what happens when a Bodhisattva sees people suffering? Okay, you're right, they try to help. Why would they try to help?
Dạ thưa thầy, tại vì they can feel the suffer.
Good girl. Thank you. They try to help because they know it's unbearable. If you suffer and they say, "What's suffering? Why would they help?" I say, "That's not suffering. Come on, man. Grow up." They will not help. But if they understand it's suffering that is so hard to endure, remember the dharma of suffering? That's what it's about. That's what the two vehicles don't realize. The Buddha was teaching them about the dharma of suffering, is that for them to endure the suffering so that if they take a step further, they said, if I had to endure so much suffering to get there, these people, okay, also are suffering. Okay? So what happened to these, the next step for them is to understand the living beings suffering and why they're so unbearable. So that's what bodhisattvas do. They don't simply say, "I want to help you." Bodhisattvas, this is not spelled out in a Chinese literature, unfortunately, or Korean literature, or Vietnamese literature, or you name it, literature, Japanese literature, whatever. They're not spelled out. But actually, they mention tangentially, on the side. He said, they lack compassion, benefit others. So he said, the bodhisattvas, when they see people suffering, the first thing they do is that, wow, I don't know what's that kind of suffering is. So what they do is they want to suffer the same thing. You know that? Did you know that? You think Bodhisattva says, "You have depression? I'm so sorry to hear you're depressed. But I'm glad I'm not you." When they hear that you're depressed, they say, it sounds so hard. Let me experience it myself. Oh, you see someone, you're going crazy. They say, "Oh my God, it looks so strange. I'm glad it's not me." No, when they see it like that, they want to... How do you do that again? It is so bodhisattva. Do we understand each other? They are not afraid to suffer like you. How's that? So that's why the bodhisattvas develop compassion, because they say, "Oh, I know how difficult it is, this kind of suffering." It's not from theory, it's from having experienced it, from understanding or knowing how it really is like. Isn't that cool? That's why they deserve our respect for that reason. They don't run away because we suffer. They look at us as homeless people and say, "You must be suffering so much," so they become homeless like us and go hungry and endure the cold and so forth, and rejection from society and so forth, so that they know what it's like. Okay? So that's how they develop compassion. Compassion is developed by enduring suffering, not by running away. You have to endure it yourself, because you need to know what it's like to have compassion. How can you have compassion? You don't even know what it is that you have compassion for. Okay? Next. 84. Whom the assembly knew and recognized. The assembly refers to all the other present while the people who were listening to the Buddha's speaking the sutra. That's the assembly. So these people there, all the people there together are called the assembly, and they know each other. Okay? It's like you. In our assembly, if I may make that analogy, we're not 32,000 bodhisattvas, maybe one or two bodhisattvas, but not 32,000. Okay, but when you gather and listen to sutra lectures like they did to the Buddha, eventually you know each other by sight, right? That's what is knew and recognized. Okay. So they knew each other. Okay. Not only knew each other, but also here they are known widely by others who were not there as well. And by mere mention of the names, you know the name refers to the virtues. Okay. So when you say Wanyin Bodhisattva, you know that's someone you can revere, and by seeing the forms, you don't feel bad about bowing, okay, and paying homage. Okay. Next, sub-bullet. Prior conditions. In order to be there in this assembly, there are big shots. They practice a lot for a long time. They've been practicing for a long time. And another point is that they are extremely adorned. That's what is meant by great man marks. Great man marks refers to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. They have great wisdom, they have great merit and virtue. That's why they have great man marks. The ears are pretty long, from here to here. Look at the Buddha's ears, right there. See? Long ears, flat nose. No, I mean tall nose. Tall nose, Greek nose, hopefully. Okay. Red lips. See that? Great man marks. You can continue on your own. You don't need me. How depressing. And yes, Wei Mao.
Yes, Master, we have a question from Din Tai. He asks, what kind of suffering should we endure?
I don't know where to begin. What do you think? You've been practicing with me for a long time. What kind of suffering should he endure? Chung? Cross his legs. I just threw a name out of the air. What is suffering? What suffering do you need to endure? Without thinking? Beautiful. Without thinking, say, oh, I hate crossing legs. The point being that you endure, this is part of this here, you selectively endure things that you dislike. Okay? So living beings rely on and worship them and so forth. Any questions? Next, 85. They all had accomplished great wisdom and fundamental practices. Great wisdom is called great wisdom because another word for it is prajna, wisdom. Okay? This is Buddha's wisdom. Okay? Great wisdom. Is anyone else coming? No? Okay. Great wisdom. So it's prajna wisdom. Okay, prajna wisdom is great wisdom. That's the only one wisdom that's called great wisdom. That's prajna wisdom. Okay, the wisdom of enlightened people. What is wisdom of enlightened people? All these enlightened people, have some common wisdom. That's how they recognize each other. Enlightened people can recognize each other. You know that? Because they all recognize the prajna wisdom light. They all have. What is it? This is light? Prajna wisdom light? What is it like? I don't know. Okay. Fundamental practices. What are the fundamental practices? What refers to the practices of the bodhisattvas? Bodhisattva practice the 10 paramitas. Yes? 10 paramitas. You can look it up. I forgot what they all are. 3 contemplations. What are the 3 contemplations? What are the 3 contemplations? You cannot become a bodhisattva. You cannot become enlightened unless you practice the 3 contemplations. How's that? But you don't want to know, right? Okay, moving on. Had all accomplished, okay, it says here, although the fruition of karmas is not yet complete, but the cause of practice have already been perfected, hence it is said to be accomplished. What does it mean? Yes, 7.
Thank you, Master. What is prajna wisdom?
Prajna wisdom? I told you already. What do you keep on asking? Prajna wisdom is the wisdom of enlightened people. When you become enlightened, it's because you open your prajna wisdom. Okay? When you become enlightened, you know what it is. It's something you experience. The common mistakes that my peers make is when they ask this question about wisdom, prajna wisdom, enlightenment, and so forth. They try to explain it. And I listen to all the explanations, they all come short. So after reading all these explanations, books after books, paper after paper, I realized they're all off. So I came to the conclusion, it cannot be explained. When you have it, you know what it is. Okay? It's not something that can be explained. It's something that either you have or you don't. If you have it, then you know. You don't have it, it cannot be explained to you. When you have it, it shows in your comportment, in your behavior, in your views, in your actions. And that's how you can relate to others who are also enlightened and say, that's why he's doing that. Whereas the unenlightened people cannot understand why. Okay? Does it help? That's how you answer a question without answering. Okay. So what does it mean here, third bullet? And we'll stop after this. So it's up to you. You do it quickly, we can leave. If you keep dragging it out, we'll be here forever. Yes, 7.
What is the 3 contemplations?
I'm asking about third bullet, not second bullet. Yes, Way Mountain.
Amitabha Master, how do we open our prajna wisdom?
Open prajna wisdom?
Yes.
By practicing Mahayana. Only through the Mahayana practices can you open your wisdom. And what are the Mahayana practices? It's the Mahayana Dharma of suffering, in other words. The Arhats, the Pratyeka Buddhas, have the Dharma of sufferings of an Arhat or Pratyeka Buddha. The Bodhisattva have the Dharma of suffering of a Bodhisattva. And by enduring that Dharma of suffering for Bodhisattva, you will have your prajna wisdom. Okay? Very good. 3 contemplations. What are 3 contemplations? I need you to memorize this. Okay? This is key knowledge, fundamental knowledge. You contemplate emptiness. You contemplate the mundane. You contemplate the middle way. That's how you have prajna wisdom. That's another way to open your prajna wisdom. Okay? This is special practice that we teach people when you reach a level to speed you up. We teach you contemplate empty, contemplate mundane, contemplate the middle way. Or the instructions are designed to help you go through those phases. Okay? Folks, in Mahayana, it's very deliberate. It's not haphazard at all. It's very precise, very much like a science, very scientific. You need to do it right in order to make it. It's a science. It's an art. It's not casual at all. There has been a history of, shall I say, countless practitioners who made it. Countless. So we have a tremendous database of the practices. Okay? And so I had accomplished, meaning that they did what they are supposed to do to become Buddha, but they need more time. It's very much like they planted the seeds of Buddhahood already, so it's a matter of time that they will become a Buddha. It's no more doubts. Okay? They will become Buddhas. That's why they all had accomplished. Okay? They did that already, and therefore in the future they will become Buddhas for sure. They will become enlightened for sure. No 2 ways about it. That's why they are revered. That's why they are recognized. That's why they know each other. That's why they are called Bodhisattvas. Thank you everyone. We stop here today. Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend.